to another episode of Rufus Eats Cheese.
Today we have the lovely Castello Creamy Blue. Thank you to everyone who's watched the videos, and if you enjoyed them, please like, share, drop your comments down below and subscribe, and
hit the notification bell down below.
Nice. As I said, today we have the beautiful Castello Blue. Thank you very much for suggesting it. It's not one I've tried before. It is made by Arla, the same Danish dairy that produces the gorgeous Danish Blue or Danblu. It's a vegetarian cheese that's been around since the 1960s. And it's unusual in that it has a radial spiking pattern on there. Many are spiked from underneath, and this one is spiked all around the edge, pointing towards the centre. So the idea is it gives a more even blue vein through it. The dairy itself was started in 1896, so it's got a pretty good heritage. They know their cheese. And I'm looking forward to trying it. It's extra creamy. I believe it's a triple creme. I might be wrong. I couldn't find anything specific, but I've seen an unofficial source saying that it's a triple creme. It's definitely extra creamy. But most importantly, it's going to be the first blue cheese that someone's going to try, which I think is very brave.
Yep.
Are you looking forward to it?
Yes.
And have you any ideas what you think it might be like?
Well, by the smell of it, it smells a bit mushroomy and almost... I can't describe it because I've never tried blue cheeses before, so I can't exactly describe it. But it smells very mushroomy.
Okay.
And then when you smell it more and more, it smells more like proper blue cheese.
Okay.
I'm actually a bit scared as well because if you don't like blue cheeses as much, you probably might want to have some nuts just in case.
Yeah. Should we get those?
I'll get them.
Alright, we'll get some nuts as well. Well done.
Well, there they are.
Got some almonds just in case.
Just in case.
Right, let's give this a quick look. It's reasonably firm.
Quite squishy as well in the middle.
It's a little bit squishy, isn't it? The outside's actually reasonably dry. You
Really?
can kind of touch the outside.
Feels sort of almost a plasticine sort of.
Yeah, it has got a kind of plasticine thing going on. What about this surface? Feel that one. It's a little bit more sticky on that side, isn't it? Try that side.
I think
It's
that's
a little bit
because
more
it's
sticky.
Oh, hang on. You do something like that, rub it together, and it almost. That also feels like a wet plasticine thing. By the way, if you're wondering what I mean, plasticine usually melts on the radiator, so it kind of feels a bit like that.
I'm sure not everyone knew that, actually. I didn't know it melts on the radiator.
Well,
right.
I tried it.
I'm going to take this piece.
Wow, that's
and
strong.
I'm going to cut it in half. And, right, do you think you want a bit from the nose in the middle or a bit from the outside? Or a bit, I could even cut you that way and you only got a little bit of blue in there. What do you want to try?
Let's try...
If it's too tiny, you won't be able to taste it, will you?
No, somewhat.
Well, what about, let's do a deal then. What about that piece? What do you reckon? Too big?
I'm scared.
What about that piece? That's almost not got any blue on, but you might be able to taste some blue. I'm going to have a somewhat larger piece. I'm going to have these two bits. Hang on, let's have a little sniff first. Don't try it yet.
Wow, this this smells super creamy. You know what? I'm going to put this down because it's sort of melting my fingers.
It does actually smell really creamy.
And it tastes good. I just think
You're supposed to wait. So, it does smell super creamy. You can definitely smell that blue vein. And it is starting to melt a little bit in my hand. With all that cream in there, it's got a pretty high fat content, so I can feel that kind of melting under my fingers.
It smells a lot like clotted cream.
Louise is quite right. It does have a slightly mushroomy thing going on as well.
Mushroomy, clotted-y sort of. I wonder how it tastes.
Shall we try it? Do you want to get that piece?
It's a weird thing because a cheese can smell something like mushrooms and eggs, but when you try it, it's peppery, salty, and not mushroomy or. So the smell can be different to the taste.
You ready?
Oh my god!
1,
I'm so scared.
2, 3.
Not bad.
I think the blue bits just come in, I think. So, it's super creamy and it melts in your mouth. Then, there's a bit of a gap, isn't there? And then, you get the nice bitterness of that blue.
I don't really like the bitterness.
You didn't like the bitterness bit. And then the creams come back. Can you feel the creaminess in your throat
I
now?
prefer the cream better than the bluey bit. So, it's a bit of a problem.
Do you want to try a little bit of that one?
Oh, I don't know, Dad.
There you go. There's a proper bit of blue on the edge there. Give it a try.
I'm the blue. I'm telling
Right,
you.
well, let's cut that bit off. There's no blue vein on there, on that
Are
piece.
you sure? Ah,
You got it?
I think so.
Right, you ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
It's like salty.
Comes through lovely and salty, but not too salty. It balances really quite well, I think.
Well, except
that's
for
a
the
lovely
bit,
cheese.
the actually blue bit.
I'm going to snaffle that little piece as well.
I'm not a big fan of the actual blue bit, but I thought it was pretty damn good.
So you would like this cheese, do you reckon, if it wasn't blue? If they hadn't spiked it and put the blue vein in, do you reckon it would be super tasty?
In my imagination, it will taste just like cream.
It is pretty creamy. In fact, I'd say it was almost as creamy as Valage, which you can check out up here. That was just like a block of clotted cream. It was really good. I'm going to try this bit as well.
Nothing. It's nowhere compared. It's all gooey and melty. And the EDF ball, which will be down there, I think.
That's really good.
Is crumbly and
Do you think it's a very different cheese?
hard. It's not at all melting in your fingers. Although some in a
Do you remember what kind of
small-
milk it was made from?
sheep's cheese.
Yeah, it was. It was sheep's cheese, wasn't it? It was also unpasteurised, I think, wasn't it? Unpasteurised sheep's cheese.
Yes.
This is pasteurised cow's milk cheese. And I'm going to try and
Not bad,
cut
actually. It's
right along that spike, so we can.
that is very beautiful, actually.
It's quite pretty, isn't it? You see how what they do? They spike from the outside in, and then
Anyway,
the vein grows in to the middle.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
How does the blue veins grow exactly?
Well, they put a culture of penicillin in there, special penicillin that's found in Roquefort and Stilton, and then they either have air pockets in the cheese to start with, and the mould then grows inside those, or they spike the cheese to allow air in, because the mould needs air, you see. To be
And
able to
without
breathe.
the air for the mould, the mould doesn't grow.
That's right, yeah. If you kept it in a place where there was no air, the mould wouldn't grow. The only bit might grow would be where it reached the outside.
Probably.
So,
I've got an idea.
what's that?
I think I'll be brave enough to nag the edge.
Go for that. You ready?
I wonder if it tastes different.
Go for it. You ready?
I
1,
think so.
2,
Dang it,
3. What do you think? Is it tasty?
It's really good.
This is really
Try it.
cool. It's the first time you're trying blue cheese, isn't it? Let's try it a little bit. There's a bit on the edge here.
And then it immediately tastes blue, doesn't it? Which
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan
The
of.
creamy
blue
bit's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, the blue bit I'm not a big fan of.
I like both, I have to say. Really, really tasty cheese.
I'm not a big fan of the smell either.
What about if I cut that bit out for you? That's the super creamy bit. It's almost like just cream.
It's got a bit blue on
Let me
it.
cut a little bit of blue off for you. I love that.
Fussy with the blue.
There you go, try that. Super gooey.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's lovely and creamy. You can hardly pick it up, actually. Ready? Go for it.
3, 2, 1.
What do you think?
Butter and cream.
Louisa, by the way, loves butter. To the point where, when she was little, we used to go and get the butter dish, take the lid off, and there'd be a little tiny handprint in there, where she'd basically just gone, grabbed a handful of butter,
Ate it and ran off.
eaten it and run off, and yeah. But yeah, that's good. So you know your butter flavours, don't you?
Although it's not fully buttery, it's sort of like a buttery creamy sort of thing.
It's like butter you put
good.
cream on, isn't it? Try another piece. Have we got that? Is that bit a nice gooey bit without any blue?
It's gooey, but
What about that piece there with the blue on it?
nope.
Too blue, you think?
Too blue.
Right, we are. Let's give it another proper taste. Surprisingly, with all the cream that's in it, it is, in fact, there's still a little hint of that freshness that you get with Danish Blue, Danblu. That seems to have stayed with it, which is quite cool. So you get this beautiful creamy butteriness, which then after a while it develops, and then it seems to end, and then you get the nice blue bitterness, and I can really feel it in the sort of corners of my jaw, right far back. But those buttery notes, creamy notes are still there, and they slowly get replaced with a nice sort of fresh yogurty kind of flavour. So a really nicely rounded cheese. It's really lovely, that, and I think it's probably soft enough. You could spread it quite well. You don't have to use it. It doesn't have any of that crumble that Stilton has. This is very much along the lines of Gorgonzola, maybe not quite as gooey as the Gorgonzola, but much closer to that than it is to Stilton. So what do you reckon? What's your thoughts then?
Well, obviously, I definitely like it. If it didn't have any blue on it.
So you like the cheese without the blue bit?
Yeah.
What about trying it? Can you taste the blue still?
What do you mean?
Well, even when you're having it without the blue vein, can you still taste
Yeah,
the
it
blue?
still kicks up, but when you try the blue vein, it's like... yeah, nah, not really.
No, not a fan. How cool though, you tried it.
I know.
That's really cool. That's quite grown up actually, trying blue cheese. I seem to remember, I think Stilton was the first blue cheese I tried. It's not necessarily a good one to start with because Stilton is a bit pokey. It literally melts in your mouth. That's beautiful cheese.
It melts.
Go on.
Hello.
It melts in your mouth. It's rich and creamy and buttery and has all those right... It feels like pudding. It's almost like having a blue cheesecake. Really nice.
I think it almost melts like ice cream, and strangely, I think it tastes slightly of vanilla.
Really? That's interesting.
Vanilla-y, buttery sort of cream.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any comments, please drop them down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, what your favourite cheeses are. If you'd like to see some more blue cheeses, or if you're a bit fed up with blue cheese and you want to see something different, let us know in the comments. Please like, share, comment and subscribe and...
hit the notification bell.
And we'll see you next time.